when I was fighting for my rights, I had to do so. I had to do so with my, my other discriminated friends and loved ones because we didn't have equal rights. We've challenged that. We've fought for that. And a highlight in my life was going back to Stonewall in New York, Christopher Street, a few years ago, and finding that there was like what I thought was a protest outside. My heart sank. There were police there, and we were determined to brave it. It was not long, in fact I think it was very soon after Orlando, and we were very keen to get into Stonewall, see where this all started, and celebrate being in that place. Anyway, as we approached the building, there were a lot of wreaths, a lot of beautiful candles, wreaths, poems, writings outside. My recollection is a lot of white, a lot of candlelight. It was really moving. It was basically a remembrance of the loved ones who had been annihilated in the Orlando shootings. This was outside the iconic club. And so why were there all these people outside? What was going on? There was something going on. There were kind of protests and placards. The police were there. And so we went inside to get away from that. We had a Brooklyn beer. This is with my partner I met in 1999. Way after all the times of, for us, kind of living in the shadows, hidden basements, curtained off, being looked at through grills, homophobia, being beaten up, all the dark times. And there we were inside Stonewall, and we danced, and it was just such a joyful place to be. And then people from outside were coming in, and it turned out, and this is the thing I really just broke my heart in a really happy way. The people outside were holding a vigil for the Orlando victims, but also to protect Stonewall that night, to protect us. This is the community of people from all backgrounds coming outside Stonewall to protect people who wanted to go into this space, who have a right, us, to live our lives freely. And even more astounding was that the police were there and they'd cordoned off the street. They were there to protect us, our community, so to speak, from the threat of any attack, because this was a high alert for any gay or queer spaces. And so the police were there, the vigil was there, the remembrance wreaths and the candles were there in a way that I had never in my life experienced before, other than from within the gay community, and never from the police. When I was in Holland Park, attacked with my then partner by a group of football players, my partner dragged along by the back of her neck on the ground. I went to help to pull her off. I was punched in the face. We went to the police. I mean, I've forgotten a lot of this. I asked my ex-partner to remind me. I'd forgotten I was punched in the face. She said I was defiant. She said I stood there. She could not believe how brave I was. We went to the police. They did not want to know. They did not want to know. In the papers just recently, the two women on the bus attacked by the teenage boys, we saw the pictures. It took us back. It took me back. But obviously there's members of the queer community are still facing all of this shit, all of this inhumane discrimination against them as organisms and evolutionary beings, who in every way are no different from the next. And this is kind of where I want to just come back to, really, just to wrap it up. And especially sitting in Stonewall, people wanted us to be safe. They wanted us to feel loved. They wanted to share our tears about the Orlando victims, the victims of hate. In New York that day, the police were there for us, and I thought, what a turnaround. when you think back to Stonewall and the events of that night.